Hey, do you remember the old commercial? And I forget what product it was for, but it said, "It's in you," right? Talking about something being in you, having like a power, having this some sort of source of strength and energy and all of that. A lot of things promise that, right? And that was probably some sort of exercise drink. I'm not sure. Hit in the comments, let me know what that was. And God's in us. He's with us. Now, I know that sounds weird for us sometimes, and a lot of times we might not be real comfortable talking about that because it just doesn't, we can't really wrap our minds around how that could work. But in John 14, Jesus gives us some help because he reminds us that the Holy Spirit is in us, is with us, and kind of fills us. What an awesome, awesome thing, because a lot of times, we're wondering like, man, where am I going to find the strength to do that? How am I going to have that conversation with somebody who hurt me? And that might be a really pivotal conversation you need to have. And you're like, man, I don't think I'm going to have the words. I don't think I'm going to have the kind of the strength or the will to do that. But Holy Spirit's there. He's going to help you. In fact, Jesus says this in verse 16. I'm going to do 16 and 17 of John 14. It says, Jesus himself says, "I will ask the Father, and he will give you another helper to be with you forever," right? He was going to be going to the cross. He was going to suffer. He was going to die. He's going to be with us forever, right? And so this helper's there forever. He says, even the Spirit of truth, that's who this helper is. That's who the Holy Spirit is. And he's the one the world cannot receive. Why? Because it neither sees him nor knows him. But you know him, for he dwells with you and will be in you. When you talk about being close, you talk about being there. And again, this isn't some inner strength that we're talking about. We're talking about God himself, right? The Holy Spirit giving us all that we need, right? Leading us, guiding us, giving those words to say, giving us the strength that we might need. Why? Because we know that no matter what, he's got us. No matter what, we're forgiven, we're loved, we're free. And he is going to be there, this helper, this one who kind of literally walks beside us and comes alongside us every day, all the time. And here's the problem, though, is that we often forget. He's like a lot of people in our life. We kind of ignore and we maybe blow them off, even though they're there, even though they're that resource, that person we can count on. We think we can do it ourselves, all alone. We don't need anybody, but we know, like from experience, that's just not the truth. I don't care how competent you are, how strong or clever or resourceful you are. This is a resource we all need, and that's the Holy Spirit. That's God's power, his strength. We are so prone to forget. I think especially as we focus on our own strength, we tend to diminish or downplay this role that God plays, which is 100%. He's given us what we need all the time. So I pray that kind of literally fills you up and helps you today as you serve him. And maybe as you're struggling, that God would remind you that he's got this help in you. It's the Spirit and it's the strength. All right? We'll talk to you next time for another follow through.